everyone. Can you believe that we're already through 1 month of 2021? It's crazy how fast time flies. Welcome to Hops and Highways. I am Jessica Lombardo, editor of Asphalt Contractor Magazine, and with me is Dormie Roberts, associate editor. We're back together again. Yay! And we're so excited this week to have Laura Williams with us. She is a sales manager at Lakeland Asphalt in Battle Creek, Michigan, and she's also Vice-Chairwoman of the Michigan Women of Asphalt branch. So before we talk to Laura about her involvement in the industry, we're going to talk about the beverages we're drinking today. I am drinking Oddside Hipster Brunch Stout. Never had this beer before, but I found it in the fridge and I thought, why not? Because it's made with bacon. It's delicious. I love it.
Nice.
Dormie, what are you having today?
So I took a look in Jess's fridge and I had some old holiday beer. Well, this year holiday. And I'm drinking a Sam Adams Holiday Winter Ale. I mean, it's good. It's nutty. It's not super crushable like my IPAs, but it's got good flavor. Laura, I wish you were drinking with us today, but what would you be drinking if you could?
Yeah, so as you can see, I'm still at the office. You know, us ladies, we put in the hours too. And if I were at home and not at the office, I would be drinking my favorite gluten-free beer, Red Bridge. So cheers to you guys.
Thanks, Laura, for being on the show, and cheers. And we know you'll have a drink for us later.
So hopping right into the questions, Laura, please tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started in the industry, what brought you to Lakeland, and what your current role is there.
Yeah, thanks for asking. So I grew up loving asphalt. Lakeland Asphalt is my family's business. My grandfather, Ray Carr, founded it in 1959 with his partner. And ever since then, we've been paving the way since 1959. And it has been a fun journey to witness and be a part of. I grew up loving the smell of asphalt, believe it or not.
Yes.
One of my first positions here at Lakeland was cleaning the office, mowing the lawns. I'm sorry for the background noise if you're hearing that. And so growing up around the business, my career here has changed over the years. So I went from doing, the young kid activities. And after I graduated high school, I was our loader operator. And at that point, I really wanted to continue my education. And so I got my associates at Ferris, and then I came back and went into sales. And I've been doing that for about the last, I think this will be my 13th year doing that. And in the off season, I help with environmental reporting, human resources. We're a small company. We employ just over 50 people. So we wear many hats around here. Yeah. And it's a family business, but we spend so much time here that if you're not family, you become family eventually. So I just love it here. And I have a really big passion for the industry.
Absolutely. And even though you grew up in the industry, it still can kind of be tough to get through the stigmas being in the male-dominated industry that we are. So how have you kind of worked to earn the respect of your team and kind of overcome that challenge?
Yeah, so I'm glad you asked that because when I really felt like I started earning the respect of my coworkers was when I was the loader operator down at the plant. Mm-hmm. And that was because it was such a great platform to work off of. I really enjoyed the job. I put in a lot of hours and I was on par with my male counterparts. And so they really saw me come into my stride when I took that position. And then when I went into sales, knowing the numbers, that really speaks to if you know the business. And then out in the field, when anyone has a question, I have the answer or I can get the answer. I'm not afraid to ask for help. So just kind of stepping in when they expect you to lean back, leaning in. I know we're all familiar with that phrase, but really leaning into that dissonance. And it's worked out really well.
That's incredible to hear. How are groups like Women of Asphalt also working to help change the mindset that the industry is only for men?
So with that, I'm going to refer to my cheat sheet. They have a lot of great information on the website, womenofasphalt.org. And so I'm just going to go ahead and read from that to start out with. So Women of Asphalt is a national coalition which supports women in all aspects of the asphalt industry through mentoring, education, and advocacy, and by encouraging women to seek careers in the asphalt industry. And some of their goals are to foster and promote mentoring, which I'm a part of their mentor program, and it is fantastic, and give networking opportunities for women, to create professional development opportunities through education and training, to advocate for women in the asphalt industry, and to encourage other women to join the asphalt industry. And through all of that, they have really helped change some hearts and minds in the industry. And 90% of the workforce in the asphalt industry is men. And so the 10% of us that are here, we are here. And so the men of the baby boomer generation, they are, if they haven't retired, they are looking at that in their future. And the men of my generation and younger generations, they are not stepping into those roles with the numbers that is needed. So like it or not, women, we can fulfill those roles. And so Women of Asphalt on the national level has done a great job in helping that happen.
Yes. So not only is Women of Asphalt on the national level, but they also have branches locally, and you are Vice-Chairwoman of the Michigan branch. So tell us a little bit more about that and why it was important to you kind of bring that national message to your state when you started it, how many members you have, and how can people get joining the Women of Asphalt branch in Michigan?
Yeah, so we are in our infancy, and we formed our branch, it was October of 2020, that year that we will try not to mention. And so first of all, I want to thank our chairwoman, Michelle Miller. She also works as the quality control coordinator at Cadillac Asphalt, which was also a sponsor of our very first event, along with Lakeland Asphalt, Michigan Cat, Reith Riley, and there are a lot of benefits, believe it or not, to be a sponsor. And I also want to give a shout out to our SAPA and the people there that have been very helpful and doing a lot of the heavy lifting would be Beth Wilson, Chuck Mills, and Brett Stanton. They have really helped our chapter, our branch, Women of Asphalt Michigan, get going. And so a little bit about us, we have right now 65 members, and our goal for our first year was to get 100 members. So we are well on our way. Yeah. And people can join our branch by going to womenofasphalt.org and clicking on membership and going down to branches, and there they can find their local branch. And we are one of 8. So if your state doesn't have a Women of Asphalt branch, maybe that could be something that, you or other women could take on.
Mm-hmm. That's great advice. What does the industry need to do to attract more women? As companies struggle to find workers, how can we change the mindset of both those inside and outside the industry that women can be a great addition to any crew?
I'm actually really glad that you mentioned that. So from a business perspective, I can speak to that because Lakeland Asphalt, where I work, we were a sponsor of our very first Women of Asphalt event. And so dabbling in the human resources department, I had someone specifically apply for a job because she saw that Lakeland was a sponsor of a Women of Asphalt event. And she said to me that shows that we have a dedication to a diverse workforce and we're committed and putting our, frankly, money where our mouth is, and that we stand behind the Women of Asphalt.
So women who are looking to enter this industry, obviously there's some apprehension, as you mentioned. What's something that you would tell them? What's some advice that you would give them if they're considering a job in the industry?
So I would get a mentor, and I would just do that lean in again. I would go for it. I never thought growing up that I would ever be a loader operator. And not to toot my own horn, but I was really good at it. And honestly, it was my favorite position within the company. It was long hours, but when I punched out, I punched out. There wasn't a lot of phone calls or emails to tend to. It was just that satisfaction of a great effort. And also being able to drive down a road and say, I helped build that. And it's a really great feeling. And the one thing that I like about the asphalt industry is, while education is important, there are a lot of certifications that women can get that don't take a lot of time or money, and you can get right out there in the workforce earning great pay. Whether you're single, married, have children, you can make very good money doing work in the asphalt industry. And I think that's something that, it kind of gets overlooked a little bit. There's a stigma working in construction. A lot of people don't realize in the trades there are some great wages to be had. And it might seem like it's really hard to achieve that, but it's very doable.
So you talk about all of these benefits of working in the asphalt industry, Laura. Can you pinpoint one part that is your all-time favorite of working in the industry?
Besides the smell.
Yes.
That doesn't count. That's all
Just one? Well, if I had to pick just one, and this is personal for me and might not be as relatable to everyone else, but working at my family's business, seeing the growth over the years. I'm 35, okay? And we've been paving the way since 1959. So listening to the stories from my dad and hearing, how hard it was when the business was just starting, and living those sacrifices that he lived through and passing on that education to me. And it's been the joy of my life to be here. I have 2 children, and I feel like Lakeland is my third. And so if you love something that much, I'm in the right spot.
And that's one thing that I love most about this industry is the history and the stories behind every single worker, every single company. There's just such deep roots in this industry. And that to me just makes it so interesting. And I love that aspect of it. So thank you for bringing that up.
Oh, thanks.
And so our last question that we asked all of our guests, we want to know, what is one thing you just can't wait to get back to do once this pandemic is over?
Oh man, this is kind of embarrassing, but
we love that.
Karaoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that's obviously not going on right now, especially in Michigan. And so I'm ready to get back out there and just, blow off some steam and have a good time.
Absolutely. And when we get to Michigan for another event, we're going to do some karaoke with you and have some actual beers all together. I can't wait.
Great. I can't wait.
Well, thank you so much, Laura, for joining us. And we hope you do head home and enjoy that beverage. So if you want to learn more about Women of Asphalt, like Laura said, please visit womenofasphalt.org. And really thank you for all the ladies out there getting it done. And to anybody watching this, join us.
Yes.
Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Bye, Laura. Thank you.
Cheers. Bye, ladies.
Bye. It was really, really great having Laura on the show with us. We really love seeing women in the industry out there just killing it and having that passion for the industry. But like Laura said, it's a well-known fact that we're lacking female participation in the industry. And in fact, just 3.4% of construction trade workers in 2018 were women. And with companies all over the industry struggling to find workers to complete their crews, they really need to consider looking into this largely untapped pool of workers. And so this week, we're going to give you some tips, a rundown of how to attract more women workers to your company.
First and foremost, everyone needs a change in mindset that construction trades are mainly for men. So there's a longstanding perception that all jobs in the industry require extensive physical labor in frequently challenging and dangerous conditions. And while these individuals, including women who are open to this type of work, both men and women entering the workforce are less enamored with these types of roles. However, the growing presence of technology creates many new job opportunities that women may excel at. Plus, there are managerial positions available, such as project managers, crew foremen, safety managers, and so much more. So construction is no longer all about that manual labor and the idea that women are not physically strong enough to work it.
Yeah. So another key to bringing women in, as Laura mentioned, is to focus on the benefits. I mean, these construction jobs, they provide well-paying work and they don't require a college degree. But, college degrees are still very important to the industry for a lot of positions, but there's room for everyone in the trades. And in 2018, women working full-time in construction, they made $785 per week at the medium compared to $834 for the men. So the gender wage gap in construction is more narrow for women than in the general workplace. And careers in construction, they can also offer women job security, competitive benefits, paid vacation, and really, like Laura said too, the satisfaction of building something that really matters to the communities where you live in. I love driving down the road and seeing guys and women working on the roadways, and they go home at the end of the day and I built that. I helped my community be better. And so we really should focus on the benefits of these careers instead of the hardships, not just to bring women in, but to bring in men as well. It's very important.
And training is also important for every worker coming onto these jobs, but especially for workers with little to no experience. There's unfortunately a psychological barrier that's in the brain, for women to enter a job that they feel that's a man's job.
Yeah.
But women need to know that careers in construction are not just reserved for men. Jobs are for people, and companies need to train the right ones regardless of gender. What many workers, including women, don't realize is that construction careers are accessible through apprenticeships, which provide a paid on-the-job learning combined with a post-secondary classroom instruction. Women-focused pre-apprenticeship programs have been successful in increasing women's access and success in these construction careers.
So finally, it's really important to support career advancement, and companies should focus on rewarding and promoting individuals based on results rather than kind of perpetuating those gender biases, which could exist when deciding who to promote. That's true in every industry, not just construction. But we can change this by creating a mentoring culture where senior staff members, they're encouraged to invest in women within the company so they can be brought up through the ranks. And ultimately, those companies that demonstrate a genuine commitment to a diverse workforce, they're going to attract the most talented and forward-looking employees, regardless of gender. It's not just important for women to champion this cause, it's important for everyone in this growing industry to bring in all the talent we can. We need the workers. And without them, the opportunity for construction to grow is going to be stifled.
So we will cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers. So it's been a lighter news week this week, so we only have one news item to share, and it's about Biden's Buy American executive order. In 2008 alone, the Defense Department spent $3 billion on foreign construction contracts, leaving American steel and iron out in the cold. It spent nearly $300 million in foreign engines and on vehicles instead of buying American vehicles and engines from American companies, putting Americans back to work. Biden called for a $400 billion investment in Buy American procurements during his first term.
And we know that President Trump, he did institute some Buy American orders as well, but Biden's order just takes it a step further. It tightens the existing policies and it sets clear directives and clear explanations. And his executive order, it ensures that there's someone personally responsible at the federal level to oversee these Buy American provisions. While labor groups have applauded this order, the ultimate impact will not be known until we see how each federal agency opts to implement it. But we're going to be sure to keep an eye on this and let you all know as this kind of continues to unfold.
Cheers to a slow news week, and moving past to the best part of the show, Build America Friday. So this week we are saluting Palmetto Corp. they help facilitate a unique project in South Carolina. 3 separate sections of SC 544 were revamped, totaling about 4 miles of replacement. A noteworthy aspect of the project was the thickness of the lift, as the project required a 5-inch mill and overfill conducted in one lift operation.
Yeah, to facilitate this and leave the surface without any bumps, the company used diamond grinding to remove a thin layer of pavement from the surface using a stack of closely spaced diamond-tipped saw blades. In all, over 100,000 square yards of pavement were diamond ground, creating an ultra-smooth, high-friction, and extremely quiet riding surface.
So the South Carolina Department of Transportation Office of Material and Research conducted rideability tests, with the first test being performed after the new asphalt pavement was completed, prior to the diamond grinding, and a second one performed after the diamond grinding was complete. So prior to grinding, the International Roughness Index, or the IRI, measurements were as high as 132 inches per mile, and the average smoothness was 80 inches per mile. So after grinding, the IRI measurements were as low as 21 inches per mile, and the average smoothness was 35 inches per mile. So the average reduction in roughness was 56%, and we will drink to those results.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That is the end of our show today. We really appreciate everyone who is watching. And I'm going to get on. I'm just going to say that Dormie and I, we work really hard each week to bring you the news that affects your business, the industry. And we're very early in the Biden presidency, and we're continuing to sort out what his executive orders and what his decisions mean to the industry and have the impacts they're going to have on our future. We're worried about it too, but just like we did with President Trump, we will continue to post articles every time Biden mentions infrastructure, every time he talks about our workforce in his speeches and mentions anything about our trade. It's our job. Please know that we're just reporting the news, and no matter who you voted for, Joe Biden, he is now our president, and that's an office and a title that we all can respect. And really, we're just a Facebook message away if you want to talk to us about how we can make the show better. And we just really appreciate all of your input and all of your support. And thank you, everyone, and stay safe out there. Cheers.
Bye. Cheers.
Watch Hops and Highways live every Friday at 3 p.m. on Asphalt Contractors' Facebook page, or catch the replay on forconstructionpros.com/videos.